What is an acceptable year? 12 o'clock question. How can you determine the beginning of the year for yourself? Hourglass. Please read the reason for this and instructions below for the answers. Genesis 1 verse 14. And Elohim said, Let there be lights in the expanse of the sky to distinguish between the day and the night, and let them be for signs, for seasons and days and years. Sun Face. Then Psalms 19 verse 1 and 2 tells us that the Creator has made the heavenly lights to convey messages in many ways through these signs, seasons, days and years. There are also other verses that show this, like Psalm 89 verse 37, It shall be established forever as the moon, and as a faithful witness in heaven. Selah. The almighty calendar is based in the heaven above man's ability to change. That being said, here are some basic pointers that I have used to determine the change in time, and I've learned about this in 2017 and been sharing this method since 2018. White medium square. It is a commonly proven fact that this planet turns towards an eastward direction. This takes about 24 hours. But a lesser recognized fact is, the Earth also toggles slowly, north and south relative to the equator. Up and down, then up again. For 6 months it moves in an upward, northern elevation, yielding summer conditions in the north, and after that the Earth moves for the next 6 months into a southward decline. This yields winter conditions in the north. What can we learn from that movement? The year is divided into 2 6-month time spans. White medium square. How can you prove this for yourself? To the observer, each morning the sun rises, but it doesn't arise at the same place on the horizon every day. The sun will seem move from left to right during the course of 6 months. White medium square. The beginning of a year can be calculated when the southward transit of the sunrise on the horizon stops moving southward at one day and begins to move back to the north a little bit each day over the 6 months that follows. It will always happen at a new moon. This is the beginning of the year and is close to the common January New Year. Exodus 12. 1 And Yahovah spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, To this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. The head of the year, called Rosh Hashanah, is 6 months later. It happens when the sun is at its furthest point on the north horizon on the day it turns back. That is also always on a new moon. If you read Revelation 22 verse 2, I feel it concluded any question that there are only 12 months. Sun Face. There are many dates that are celebrated as the new year around the world. White medium square. So how can you personally determine the beginning of the solar lunar year? You can set a gauge up around the middle of December into early January, by using the method outlined below. Right arrow curving down. Straight ruler. I got results by using a simple sun gauge that most persons can copy by using any solid object shaped like a small T square. Set it to stand upright like the letter T. You put the gauge in a safe area, where the sun will cause the item to cast a shadow in the morning. The gauge itself should not shift or move. Then you can measure the shadow by making a line next to the gauge. These lines will show the progress. Try to make each new line at one specific time each day. The best time is around sunrise, but it can work at any time in daylight, as long as the gauge is under direct sunlight and the markings are made at the same time daily. The shadow will fall on one side and you need to make lines on the surface next to the gauge, with a marker to show the daily progress of the sun's movements. Then one day the shadow will begin to move in the opposite direction. If you begin to observe the gauge around early December, if you do not see the shadow switch directions on the new moon, try in January. White medium square. Question. What causes the change to happen? White medium square. Answer. The Earth toggle that I mentioned earlier in this article. Thank you for reading. Like and comment, and I may make updates to this.